Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter.
Welcome back to the Local Women Business Podcast. My name is Jenna Hill and I am delighted to have with me today Sharon from the Sugaring and Skincare Salon.
Hi Jenna.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. I am delighted that we finally get to sit down and have this chat.
Excited.
Finally get to tell everyone about the world of sugaring, skincare and owning a business.
Let's go.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, tell them a little bit about your business. What is it that you do? Where are you based?
We are the Sugaring Skincare Salon. We are based in Derry in the Pennyburn Industrial Estate, and we specialise in sugaring, which is a natural hair removal method, and facials.
Fabulous. So I came across you and I had briefly heard of sugaring before, but in my salon we controversially use wax. Mm-hmm. So tell us why you love sugaring.
Oh goodness. Sugaring for me is the best because it's 100% natural. It doesn't adhere to live skin cells, which means compared to the waxing, it's not pulling off skin whenever it's removed.
Okay.
Much gentler on the skin. And it's not only just a hair removal treatment, but it's a skin treatment as well. So it's fantastic at making your skin, if you have any issues, so say for example you've got issues with your ingrown hairs or you just want to get rid of hair, so we can permanently reduce hair, so we can through sugaring as well. So it's just a fantastic all-round treatment.
Okay, and do you find it less painful, more painful? What are you thinking?
Oh, absolutely less.
Less painful?
Less painful, yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to come up and give it a go now and actually try it. And what about the skincare side of the business then? Because you stock and use a brand that I absolutely rave about, and I know we've had this conversation, but I love DMK products, and they're one of your product ranges, aren't they?
Yeah, they're one of our key product ranges for facials, and absolutely, our absolute love for DMK for skincare, for changing skin. So anybody who has any problematic skin, anybody who just really wants to rebuild their skin, get nice healthy skin, DMK is definitely the one to use for that, because we use a lovely enzyme facial, which is a lovely mask, a lovely hard mask. So, and it lasts as well. No way sometimes you just go for a facial and it be like an hour, and then you're just really getting into it and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm just starting to really enjoy this. Ours last nearly 2 hours.
Oh, nice.
So you're getting the full experience, so you are that way.
Oh, that does sound lovely, because that's one of the things that I've noticed whenever you're going to a skincare specific salon, it can become a little bit more medical, more results based, and the enjoyment or the relaxation side of it is nearly missed or left to the side because it's not the overall priority. Whereas you obviously don't do that. There's still a level of relaxation in this and enjoyment.
Absolutely. So you can still get your results because they're very much results driven facials, but that's where you get the relaxation whenever the mask is on, because that stays on for about 45 minutes. So you're lying there in a lovely dark room, the music's going, you might get a wee hand and arm massage, wee head massage, and mostly 99% of people just fall asleep.
It just sounds heavenly. We should have done that today instead of the podcast.
Well, should have thought about that.
So how did you end up getting into this? Because if I'm right, your background was not in skincare or hair removal initially, is that right?
Absolutely. Well, my very first job was out of school. Whenever you go, the way you go to school and they teach you and they say, right, you can go off now and pick a career, go and do a wee bit of kind of a week out of school and
your work experience. Yeah.
That's the word. Sorry, I couldn't get it. So my work experience, I wanted to go to Boots the chemist.
Oh, nice.
So this is back in the 80s. So Boots was, for me, living in Northern Ireland, was very, I thought, my God, it's very different. So it was, and somewhere really different that I wanted to work on. So I went, as I said, and done the week's work experience. And I was really lucky, I got a job out of it. So they really liked what I was doing. So I got a job, part-time job. And then eventually when I left school, that was my first job. So I was actually in behind the skincare and the makeup counter. And that's where the love started then.
Okay.
From there, I've had many other jobs, so I have. But as you mentioned, my career just kind of went through different stages, having children and things like that there. So it changed and modified. And I did then go on to be a social worker.
Fabulous.
So that was one of my main careers. I worked with children with disability and absolutely loved that. But then again, working with children with disability, my job was only temporary with the trust, and then I had to decide then what did I want to do, because my job was coming to an end. I could have diversed and gone into a different area, but I just kind of thought, no, it's not for me now at this stage. So I diversed and I actually opened up a clothes shop. I decided to become a businesswoman and open a clothes shop. So that was the first step that I went into business, dipped my toe into business. Went really well. We built up from a really small, it was actually someone's front room that we were using. And we then moved into a much bigger business. So we did literally 4 doors up. So this was like going from a tiny small room into like a warehouse nearly for us. But unfortunately, COVID happened. It had us, so it did. And the landlord, we were due to pay for our, or sorry, not to pay, but we were due to sign off on our lease in October 2020, wasn't it? 2020. So he wanted us to sign a 5-year lease then, and obviously we were in the height of COVID, so there was no way I was going to do this. So it was either sign the lease or pull the plug, and I decided to pull the plug on the business. But while I was in this business, I actually, the love of skincare and the passion for it came back to me, so it did. And just about probably a year out, 2019 it was, I had done a wee bit of sourcing. I was going on holidays myself, and I thought, right, I wanted to look into getting hair removal done. So I had a good look about the place, so I did, and just kind of didn't want to go down the waxing route, didn't want to go down the laser route, but I wanted something that was going to be really good and work for me because I was going on holidays. Eventually started following Pamela Kennedy from International Beauty, and Pamela is the main trainer for Sugaring. So started following her, and she was telling us all about sugar and what it was, how it worked and things like that. So I contacted her and says, Pamela, what's the crack here? Where can I go get this treatment done? And she sent me to another salon to get it done. But when I went, it wasn't the experience that Pamela had told me it was going to be.
Okay.
So I came out and I was a wee bit disappointed. I was kind of thinking, I didn't really like, they didn't follow on with the aftercare that I expected and things like that. But the results were fantastic. I then went on holidays then for 2 weeks, and then when I came back again then, I was due to go to an award ceremony in Belfast. So off I went to this award ceremony. I sat down at the table and I looked, and who was beside me but Pamela. So she was that day. So the two of us were sitting beside each other. I had only contacted her once before I went on holidays. And as I said, the two of us just got on like a house on fire. And I said to her about the experience that I had. And she says, look, Sharon, with your background, you've had skincare experience before. So let's get you, if you want to come along, get trained and see what you think. So that's what I did. I just took the bull by the horn. I still had my business with the shop. And I never told anybody, bar my daughter, and I just says, let's go and do this and see how it goes. So she said, my daughter said to me, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it. So the two of us went and we both became sugarists. So I did.
Amazing.
So lucky enough, a cousin of mine then, she had her own aesthetic business and she was renting rooms in their salon. And she said to me, Sharon, if you want a room, it's there for you. If you want to try it and see how it goes. So what I did then was I just continued with family and friends. Just got them in and got practiced. And eventually then Pamela and the Alexander Professional, which is the brand that we use, they introduced a master program. So they did, where you could come then and do become a master sugarist. So Pamela selected so many people. I think there was about 6 of us in the whole of Ireland, and we all done further training through Lena Kennedy, who is based, she's in America, and she's the owner of Alexander Professional. And we all went through the stages with that, with Pamela and with Lena, and we all became master sugarists. So we did. So we're higher up level than just a sugarist as such, do you know, that kind of way. And from that then, I decided then, let's open up another, we'll move the business now, and we'll move to another. I took the chance then again in 2020, and I moved into this lovely small cottage in Derry. Literally just one big room in it again, sectioned it all off, and just started with a very small amount of ladies who came to me, and word of mouth grew, and thankfully we are where we are now, because we have moved now to our third premises. And I've got now a part-time employee as well with us, Rachel, and she's now fully trained as well in sugaring and in facials as well. So thankfully the word has got out there, and sugaring seems to be getting recognised as a much better method of hair removal, as I said, because it's more of a skincare treatment as well. And then with the addition of our DMK facials as well, which is like the cherry on the cake as well for us.
Amazing. Do you know what? It's so lovely to hear you talk about your journey, but also to speak about it so passionately. You know, you can tell that you love what you do.
Yeah.
How did you find running a product-based business in the clothing shop in comparison to running, obviously, a service-based business now with the sugaring and skincare?
Yeah, all completely different. So it is. The service-based, to me, is where I definitely want to be. So because I love that interaction, I love the hands-on, I love that kind of one-to-one personalization with my clients. The product-based business with the shop, it was hard because you were literally like, now I would be buying, if it was now this day, I would probably be away buying for next summer. So it's hard
very tough
to do it. So it is, to predict what do people want to wear next year, that kind of way. And again, because we were kind of higher priced as well. So again, your funds, you were always chasing your tail because you were always kind of ahead of yourself, if you know what I mean. So any money that you'd made nearly had to be handed out fairly quickly to get next year's stock back in. And then the worry was as well, if you bought too much stock, you bought the wrong stock or anything like that, then you were left with it then. So again, wastage and sometimes, as I said, losing money and things like that was always a worry.
Really tough, and I have noticed that with the businesses that I have, the majority of our businesses are service-based and are far easier to run than the product-based businesses. They are tough because, as you say, your funds are tied up in stock, and that is incredibly difficult. And even in the likes of a clothing shop, you are only as good as the stock that you have today. Next season, you could just hit it wrong and buy the wrong stock, and you're really snookered, and that's tough.
Exactly, yeah.
Really tough, and it's about knowing your customer really, really well. How would you find then your customer now in the sugaring and skincare salon?
Oh my God, they are just a delight. So they are. I love seeing my clients coming in. We've got a great regular clients, so we have a great range of ages as well. So we mostly kind of go from about 25 to about 80 is our age range, and everybody just loves coming in. It's a lovely, tranquil place that we have. As I say, everybody comes in and they always say, "Oh my God, the smells in here are amazing," and their shoulders start to relax. So they do. They become just kind of, even if they're getting their hair removed, which is quite funny because some clients fall asleep. They lie and fall asleep when they're getting their hair removed, and that's what they always say. They can never believe how good it is. You know what I mean? They couldn't obviously go and get a wax done and relax that easily. Yeah. So it's very common for them to.
And you've touched there a little bit on the smell. How do you find, I think the senses is so important in a beauty salon, whether it's the smell, the touch, everything plays such an important role into it. How do you make sure that your client has an incredible experience whenever they come in and that you're hitting all those key senses?
Well, we actually have our own candle.
Oh,
so
really?
We developed our own scents, our own smell, so we have for the salon.
I love that.
And we burn that in the salon. And it's also available for clients to take home, so they can have that experience whenever they go home. So clients do love that. They love being able to even gift it to other people as well. So it's a lovely lemongrass, lovely and fresh smell. So it is whenever they come in. Everything, as I said, whenever you come into the salon, you're booked. Your time is for you. So it's one-to-one. It's personalised. We don't have it's by appointment only. As well, so from that point of view, we don't have anybody just walking in from the street as such. And as I said, it's very much your time. So I always leave plenty of room before and afterwards as well, just in case the client, because you get into a relationship with these clients and you have such, you become their therapist nearly. So my social work background has served me really well for that. So it has, because you can either, if they have issues, you can either direct them to where they need to go, or you nearly, as I said, you nearly become their counsellor. So you do sometimes as well.
Yeah, and we see that even in our salon because you do nearly become a therapist. You hear things from clients before they've even told their family because it's nearly that safe space that they can talk to you and there's no repercussions, or they get to talk things through, voice things out before they actually go and take it to family.
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly as you say, that's safe space. So I think, I'm nearly sure 100% my clients would know that it is their safe space. and they know that they can talk. But we also have a bit of crack.
Yes,
Do you know what
absolutely.
I mean? You have to have the laugh as well, so you do. And I mean, as I say, God, we do a lot of intimate sugaring, so we do, and we would really specialise in intimate sugaring. And the first time someone comes, they would become maybe a wee bit embarrassed. They're kind of coming in, and it's quite funny. You see them hiding their underwear underneath their trousers and tucking everything over in the corner and stuff like that there. And then the next thing you know, they're on the bed, you know, that kind of way. And we always joke about it. And then they get, as I said, sometimes they get a wee bit embarrassed when they get on the bed and all. But once we get them relaxed and tell them about the treatment and how everything's working and how the skin, you know, how the skin works and all the rest of it, and then do the treatment. And as I always say to them, look, it's a bit like that programme, what do you call that one, the thing comes up, the
medical programme, I know what you're talking about.
They do the dating thing and the thing. And I always say, if you all line up against that wall, I wouldn't be able to say, well, there's Jenna or there's Sharon or whatever. I said, I would know your beautiful face, I said, but I wouldn't know anything else. To me, it's skin and hair, so it is. And that's just like any other part of the body, so that's
I know what programme you're talking about now, the dating programme that
Naked
like slowly,
yes
it is. Oh, that's so funny.
Can't remember the name of it.
And you can tell that a customer experience is massive for you, and that is the lovely bit, and that's the bit that stood out to me about your business, because I think a lot of businesses have lost that now, and customers are almost like a revolving door, because we are so worried about finances, we are so worried about hitting targets. We know we've been financially stuck in the past, post-COVID, and there is this stress and this fear. You know, it's harder now to run a business than maybe what it's ever been, with rates going through the roof and all of that. How do you keep your customer experience at the forefront of your mind all the time?
Again, just I like to put myself as a customer, because again, I go back to my experience of what experiences I've had in the past, and I've tweaked that to what I would want. So I make sure that again that the clients again get the full one-to-one. They get the therapist who they're looking for, be it myself or Rachel, and we just honestly just try and do our best for them. You know, we just give them the appointment time that they're looking for, the day that they're looking for, if we can, if it's available, and just keep whatever treatments they're looking for as best as we can, keep treating them as best as we can.
Fabulous. And in terms of then running a business, how do you find the business side?
Oh, I would just rather sugar every day. When it comes to figures and things like that there, oh my goodness me, no. I started off, as I said, I was a social worker, so I was very much report writing and things like that there, but I was never a figure person.
Okay.
So when it gets down to the nitty gritty of figures and things like that there, that's still probably my weakness.
Okay.
So it would be. But running the business day to day, I absolutely love it. You know, as I said, I love being hands on, and if I could pass everything else over to somebody else, I would happily do that. So I would do.
And how do you find the marketing side of the business? Because obviously the biggest bit with business ownership, I think, is, especially in the early days, you're flitting between worrying about figures one minute, then you're flitting over to being a bit creative in the marketing side of it, and then you have to think, oh goodness, is my client still having a good experience? How do you find the creative side?
Just you say, you have to wear many hats. So
yeah.
You do, definitely. Creative side is not too bad.
Okay.
But I'm very sporadic, I could probably say, with my marketing. One day I kind of remember to do it, and then the next day then I kind of go, oh right, I didn't do anything today. I think my clients are nearly used to that now at this stage, so if they see anything coming up on my stories or anything, you can see them going in and having a quick look to see what I'm doing and things like that. But unfortunately, sometimes with my business, because the intimate side of it, obviously we can't show that on
Absolutely.
social media. So again, it's more word of mouth, letting people kind of talk about their experience, what they've had with us, and kind of getting nearly the marketing out that way.
Yeah. And I think people underestimate how important consistency is in social media. Popping one picture up, a week, or 2 posts up a week, is almost really pointless, because not all your followers are always going to see the post that you've put up. So you really do need to be posting consistent. And if you're feeling like, oh, I'm posting too much, you're still not even probably posting anywhere near enough. You have to be posting so much. And we nearly do become part-time content creators. And I know that's something I have had to take a day out of my week to purely focus on content creation. And once we did that, that's when we seen the business really start to skyrocket. And initially I felt, oh goodness, I'm putting way too much out here. And my husband would say, every time I flick onto TikTok, all I see is your face. And it took me a little bit of time to nearly gain enough confidence in that. It was also at that point that I realised he only did follow me on TikTok, so it only was going to be my face that he's seeing. But it's hard to create enough, because you do feel like you're becoming a content creator, not just a business owner. And
Absolutely.
that is tough. That is tough.
Yeah.
How do you find the juggle? Because obviously you're a mum too.
A mum as well, yeah, but thankfully they're up now. So they are, my 2 kids are in their 20s, and they're thankfully up and doing their own thing. But like that too, they would say to me, Mum, you need to be doing X, Y and Z, or you need to be making sure that you're posting more and things like that. And I'm lucky enough, my daughter is still involved in that side of it for me, so she would help me out. So she would do. So she's her and her husband are fabulous. So they are, which I'm absolutely useless with anything technical. So I just kind of shout to them. So they're sick with the back teeth of me shouting, go and help. But thankfully they come running, so they do if I need them.
And what are your big plans now for the next year, 2 years, 3 years? What would you really like to do? What would you like to see the business achieve? Or is there anything that you're really excited about?
Do you know what? See what we're doing is working. So I'm really happy with how we're progressing. I think going forward, I would love to have maybe more team members with us, and let more people experience our treatments, and let them see what the Sugaring Skincare Salon's all about. You know?
Absolutely.
Just as I said, just keep going.
Let other people see how amazing it actually is.
Yeah.
And have you any parting words of wisdom for any female business owners out there? Anything that you've learned on your journey of being a business owner that you would like to leave with anybody to give them a bit of encouragement in their own business?
You're never too old to start.
I love that.
Never too old to start. I went to university whenever I was 40. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started when I was 40. As I said, I had different careers before that. So I graduated in my 40s, opened a business later on, and now I'm 54, and here I am 5 years down the line in a business that I absolutely love, absolutely thriving in, and I would never want to change anything else. This is me now until retirement, and even at that I can't even see myself retiring, to be honest, because I love it so much. And that's true. That's the truth. I absolutely adore my job, adore my clients, I adore everybody that comes through through my door, and just I have a real good passion for it. And again, to let people know that there is alternatives out there. It's not just the same old thing that everybody know that you think that's out there. There is alternatives out there, but definitely you're never too old to change. So you are, and if anybody out there who is considering, if they're in a job and they're just not happy, do you know what? Go for it, girls. Just go for it. That's all I can say.
Life is too short, and gone are the days where we went into the civil service of the NHS and you had a job for life and you stayed there until you got your pension. Those days are just so long gone now. Jobs for life are no longer jobs for life anymore. We're walking away from them, but also we are seeing so many more redundancies too. So that's just not the way that it is anymore. So I love that you're giving that advice, because there is nothing worse than having a job that you're unhappy in and you're having to go to it multiple days a week. It really does affect you at home, doesn't it?
Absolutely. No, there's no Sunday dread. So there isn't when you work for yourself. Well, there is. Sometimes you kind of think, oh my God, you might have to get your books done, or you might have to do, as you say, some social media or something like that there. But sure, if that's the worst that you have to face, isn't that not too bad? So it isn't, But when you know that you can put your head on the pillow, and you know that you're waking up to a job that you really want to go to, and you're happy in, and you know that you're going to have a great experience of people coming through that door. You're going to have good conversations. You're going to have, you can, as we said at the start, you can help people. You can be a counsellor to people. You can be a therapist. You can be their friend. You can be whatever that person needs at that time, because you're giving them that one-to-one personalised service. And that's what we're about, and that's what I absolutely love it, and I would not change it for the world.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. If anyone wants to find you on social media, where can they find you?
They can find us at we have a website, so we have the Sugaring Salon, our Instagram page as well, and we're also on Facebook.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Jenna. Thanks for having me.
Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter.